some reckoning of why, when they started their program, only 1% signed up. And what they did was they realized that they didn't segment their customer base in ways that would find customers who were willing to go beyond price and pay even a modest premium for renewable electricity. Once they did that, they found them and they went from 1 or 2% to 10%. That's a big increase. And so it's not, while it's not game-changing, that's, I think, what's been missing to some extent is that the energy providers, the utilities, just haven't done a good job of understanding their customer base about those that want to be associated with the benefits of green power, and B, having found them how to promote that to their larger base. So I think that's part of the issue. I think in addition, there's a lot of lip service that's paid to education. Educating consumers, educating young people, and so on by the Department of Energy in Washington. But if you try to find the money that they're devoting to that, it is a trip that you'll never finish. They're just very, very little. And we're the biggest national lab in the country on renewable energy. We have 3 people, and education is part of our mission. We have 3 people out of 2,000 that are dedicated to coming up with K through 12 curriculum, and especially at that age level, there's very little investment in that. So we have a long way to go there, and just as Winona and others have mentioned, all the great technology in the world, all the great tools that people have to try to introduce this stuff, does little good if consumers aren't willing to embrace them.
You know, a quick comment. I really like the model of having students and communities engaged. We're talking about how there's not really a lot of money out there to initiate and sustain, programs. There won't be much in the future, I think, because, look at the way the economy is trying to recover, and we're looking at less and less federal funding for a wide range of initiatives. So, and the whole theme of this discussion is sustainability. So it has to emerge from the community. It can't be brought from the outside and sustained that way. And our number one resource, we're all educators, we're in education fields for the most part. Our number one resource is our youth, the kids. They're the ones that are coming from the communities, and they're the ones who are being trained to take over the leadership positions when they graduate. That's where I think we really should start. Get them out, get them trained now, while high school, middle school, going into the communities, doing these green assessments, initiatives, discussions, community forums, engaging the leadership in the community. I think that's really, that has sustainability written all over it, because you're not investing money, you're investing people, which is all the stakeholders. So that's just a comment. To me, that's whatever solution we come up with today or tomorrow or in the coming years, for sure that's going to be a part of it. That's going to be in the answer there somewhere, in the formula. How dominant, I don't know, but for sure if it's not there, it ain't going to work. It's my 2 cents.
Putting in my 2 cents real quick as well. I think that's the toughest question is, obviously we're all so passionate about this. It's crystal clear, why we should all be doing this, but we're the few and the proud, we're the top 5 or 10% of people who are engaged. So you're looking at the other 85, 90%, and there's not a silver bullet solution of how to get them engaged. I refer to what I call a silver buckshot, where you kind of have to hit it from all the different angles, because everyone is drawn to something different. There has to be carrot, there has to be stick. We have to show them incentives so that they can be striving for better, but at the same time we have to improve regulations. But I feel the most powerful way, like I was trying to emphasize my last little 5-minute spiel, was leading by example. As we're the ones who have the information and the tools, as hard as it is to make it happen, if people can see tangible examples, that speaks a million words. because people are afraid of the unknown. If we try and tell people about a future without fossil fuels, we don't have really any other options for them to conceptualize right now. And so, even if the smallest scale, if we can get, a small campus, off the grid and, living off of biofuels or renewable energy or something, I mean, that's going to be a template, to grow from there. So.
More comments?
Well, in second, what he said, about doing demonstration projects, you've got to build something, put something up that you can see, feel, kick the tires. It doesn't do much otherwise until you get to that point. It's not real. And I know you can't. You want to look at the big picture here. You have to, but we got to start somewhere too. By doing one project here, one there. Ideally, we could have that. I mean, the design charrette process, if you want to call it that, but that team concept we've heard talked about. You use Michael talked about it a lot, and you've all probably used it too. But that works, to have everybody involved, so everybody's got a stake in this from each camp, so they feel part of it, and then get the information that is there, whether it's in video form. There's lots of sources there, but maybe we need a composite education video for the rest of the college, then the housing authority, the other communities, the district councils, and the private councils. I think at that district level is effective. If many of the larger tribes have those. Some that are smaller, you can do it with those smaller forums. To get that out first, and I sure agree with educating kids. The curriculum on this really needs to be developed, and put together. I know shorthanded, federal agencies, but there's stuff out there that's good. We've got to find a way to fund that together so we can get that out and get it communicated. Because kids taking home messages to the supper table and talking to families, get them involved with stuff. That works, and that's my take on it. I don't. We look for funding wherever we can. It's double tough to come up with some of these projects to fund them, but share. Just keep sharing information. Every chance you get to partner up together, I just encourage doing that. So you can each do a model, a piece of it. Someone's doing green building, somebody's got a solar project, others are growing food. There's a lot of good models around. So learn from that, and that's what we need to put together. Really be nice to have a nice video of what all's going on at every college, and stuff you don't know about. Get it around. Both tribal colleges and other that are here. Those success stories are important.
There is, for tribal colleges, and I know because some of my students have done so, through the Clinton Global Initiative, if you've signed on to that commitment as a college president, there is a way for students to get seed money to do some of their sustainable projects. I think it's anywhere up to 10,000 they can get, or if they just need 1,000 or whatever, for students to do projects in terms of poverty, health, education, and climate. And some of our students I've sent some of our students to the Clinton Global Initiative Conference. They've received certificates and recognition for their work. One I know worked on the food systems, gardening within the community. Having them come back home to be excited about what they've seen and what they've done, and to share that with the other students gets all of them excited and interested. And then having them do presentations on their projects to the community, because I like my students to be